Weather Kingdom. Today we'll be taking a look at our third named tropical storm. I know I've been on vacation, but we are back here with a quick update, and then later on we will be going live on Tropical Storm Chantal or Chantal, however you say it. Regardless, we are going to be having some impacts and our first tropical storm landfall of the Atlantic hurricane season, as we are on July 5th, the day after July 4th. Sorry about the late Happy America's Day. But we are going to be taking out Chantal. This has been an interesting storm off camera, and I've been keeping an eye on this. So I'm going to give you short and brief. Then we're going to go live in the next couple hours. Okay, so this is Chantal. This is the cloud view, and there's a lot going on. So basically, I want to take a look at two different. I want to take a look at the faster version and the latest. The tropical tidbits mesoscale discussion is about a minute behind or so. So that's one thing, but I just want to show you guys how fast and where's the low level center at as we're taking a look at this. So basically what I'm seeing right now is we got a low level center about here. Okay? That is where our low level center is. Before it was about here. It traveled, it kind of went from here and then shifted all the way over here to the south. And now it's heading right back into the convection. It's been broad area of low pressure. The lowest pressure right now is at about 1,006. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised this pressure has actually gone up back to 1,008 or even 1,009. I would indicate that there was some weakening. Maybe not on the wind spectrum. I think it's been holding pretty well. Millibar wise, not really, and the wind increased nothing for me to really see. But we've been in Duro minimum, and so far with this system in Duro minimum and the things that's been fighting has done a pretty good job overall. Now I want to take a look back on this one because this gives you a latest one of a loop, and I kind of want to show you guys where the landfall is going to be. So right now we have a landfall possibility in South Carolina. I'm going to roll it out there that we could have even have a landfall in North Carolina. We are going to continue to be live on this and keep an eye on every little thing. So the weather and dew page, we are about here with the low. This is our massive convection explosion right there. My question is, do we see this convection expand southwards? Because we are dealing with a bit of wind shear. How can you tell? Is because these thunderstorms over Florida, you can tell they're getting blown away on the cloud tops. And in my indications, we still got even some shear coming out of the southwest through this part of the storm. So we do have about 10 or so knots of shear. And that's keeping the mid-level and the low-level separated. So right now I would say the mid-level somewhere in this deep convection. And the low-level I would say is generally about here. Alright, so right now that tells you we have a displaced, not stacked well tropical storm. We are still dealing, in the earlier satellite imagery, we did have a closed low pressure, we still do, and a stacked low pressure, but that quickly gone away as Duro minimum came. The storm still hold itself pretty well throughout Duro minimum, and Duro maximum is going to be coming in soon. So it's going to be an interesting play on what we see. Usually we see strength at night. I would say for a landfall, we'll be taking a look at that in 1 second, but I want to look at the imagery. Alright, I won't be editing and doing all that fancy boxes because we are running short on time today, but I will be marking as much as I could with my EpiPen. This is not a shout out to EpiPen, but sure, If you guys have a software or a computer update, please use EpicPen. It is a very great website. More like a pen website. It actually helps me on quick uploads like this to get the information out a little faster. So what we see here is we got a blow up of convection on this here on that northern side, northeastern side. But if this was stacked, this will probably be right now a 50-mile-an-hour tropical storm at the minimum. But it's a little bit destacked, and I'm wondering if we will ever get this to actually stacked up nicely. So right now let's take we're gonna actually take a look at a different we're gonna take a look at another satellite where we can see that wind shear more, and even some dry air that has gotten into Chantal. Alright, so let's get into a short wave, and we're going to look at the low level center and see the path of that, and then the shear. So clearly right there you can see already some shear. Alright. So our low pressure from before was about here. Okay. It kind of been doing loops around like this. And now it's kind of came back like this. So it's moving slow, but our low level center, I would say, is about here. Alright, low level center is about here. Okay, deep thunderstorm convection on this side. We do have even some lightning. Alright, we're going to see if this can kind of move its direction in the low pressure. If not, this will probably stay broad and weak, about a 40 to a 50 mile an hour storm. If this does stack, we could even see a 50 mile an hour storm. 60. But right now, Chantal's not looking too good. Okay? Not anything out of the realm of, okay, I'm surprised. This is looking interesting. No. So there it is, 1,645 miles an hour. It is drifting very, very slow. Okay? We do have a flash flooding risk. That is for South Carolina and North Carolina and the parts of the Appalachian Mountains in the Carolinas. I would say right now your flooding is shifting a bit to the northern side, on the North Carolina side, and less over here. I'll say I'll probably split it like this. Take this piece out, keep it green, and then keep it like that. But we should be able to watch and see. Okay. So our discussion in Chantal, basically the satellite presentation has not changed much throughout the day with the convecting bands or the structure overall. We're going to brief this a little bit. But we did indicate some 40 knot winds. Structure since at that time, the intensity remains about 40 knots. Another air reverse reconnaissance aircraft is scheduled to investigate the storm this evening. The moderate shear has been affecting Chantal. Forecast to decrease. Okay, some. Decrease some right here. However, mid-level drier appears to be entered into the western part of the circulation. Only a slight strengthening predicted before Chantal makes landfall on the coast. That is why we only have a 50 mile an hour in the next 12 hours. We still got time for this to develop and strengthen into a 60. However, if the structure stays like this, I see maybe the most 50. Okay, if it wants to go a little bit more, we can see 60. But right now, I'm not really buying that. Okay, so now I want to take a look at the HER model and just see the overall look on this. The HER's been going a little bit back and forth. But basically what we see is a low try to develop right before landfall. I mean, it's interesting, okay? Very interesting. We see that. Let's actually get into precip type We could kind of see a low pressure tightening up with some outer rain bands and then makes landfall in about north of Charleston. But I can see this trying shift a bit more on the northern side. Okay, we will have to see. I think right now for landfall could be anywhere from about here to about here. That's where I'm expecting a landfall. Um, I don't think that this is gonna happen up here, and I don't think we're gonna have a landfall down here. I think this is our most reasonable spot, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay. We take a look at the surface wind gust because why not? This is a tropical storm after all, and you could kind of expect along the coast 30 to 40 mile an hour knot winds. Nothing too much. That's about 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. More like actually about 40 to 50 mile an hour winds and along the coast. That is expected. We take a look at your tornado perimeter, and it's really not that much, pretty low. Some water spouts along the east coast. That is expected. The echo tops, really nothing too much. We kind of see a disorganized low pressure. But regardless of that, we are going to be expecting a bit of rain. The rain has gone up a bit. All right, total accumulations actually has gone up quite a bit from past times. So basically, now if you're along the whole coast, you're expecting a general 2 to 4 inches. Okay, in spots we can even see up to close to 5 to 6 inches in certain rain bands. So that's the HER model, showing potentially areas getting up to 6 inches of rain. That's a half a foot. So take it with a serious precaution as you keep going. We even see that going all the way up into the mountains, even more significant over 6 to 8 inches all the way up into the northeast, as we see that low pressure kind of scoots its way inland and then off the coast. That will be issuing some showers and thunderstorms for about Pennsylvania on south along the east coast. We could be seeing some showers and thunderstorms. Nothing too much on that part. Okay. But that will pretty much do it for this hurricane outlook and discussion on Chantal. We'll be going live in the next hour or so. We are just going to be taking a lot of information, kind of going live. I even can probably get a Myrtle Beach live camera we're going to be looking at. I'm going to try and see how the landfall looks and really get some good information out before I do go live. But thank you guys for all your support. Thank you for 230 subscribers. We are doing great. I would like to see we hit our next goal, 250 subscribers. That'll be a lovely goal by the end of July or August. I will really extremely appreciate that. So thank you guys for all your guys' support. And please stay tuned to the latest. Last time looking at satellite imagery before I close it off in this segment. And basically what I'm seeing is continuous convection. Okay, this is a sign that we do have some very good convection. It's expanding, but it's expanding to the north. There is still some visible dry air and some wind shear. Okay, that should keep Chantal from strengthening any further than a 60 mile an hour storm. I think the limit is 60. I do not think a 70. Okay, I am not going for anything higher than a 60 right now with the way this presentation looks. But you can tell our low pressure continues to drift into that convection. So we'll have to continue to take a look at that. We're going to be having recon going into this. So thank you guys for your support and see you guys in the live stream. So peace out.